Monday, May 20th. Everyone abstain from the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First item on the agenda is some special presentations. Madam Mayor, you're in charge.
So May is a month when we honor students for their service to the community, and usually most of them are going on to another phase of their life. So tonight is Hayden Maraca and Jack Shortley. And shall we start with Hayden?
He's not here.
Not here.
Hayden is not here. Well, we're going to appreciate Hayden for service on the Historical and Architectural Review Board, and we'll just deliver it to Hayden. And Jack, our Jack. So this is in appreciation for your service as a student member of the Historical and Architectural Review Board from May 2021 to April 2023, and as junior council person September 2023 to May 2024. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody on council for their support and selecting me for this role. I've really enjoyed being a part of council, and I look forward to applying everything that I've learned in my future. So thank you.
Okay, in 4 years,
Photo here.
now that you've got experience, Jack, in 4 years, when you return from college, we expect you to run for office. He got me on that one.
Already getting snarky. Moving to your.
Moving on, the next item on our agenda is the approval of minutes from our April 15th, 2024 council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve them?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second by Mr. Frederick. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none, any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Madam Mayor, do you have a report for us tonight?
I do have a report this evening. The borough is alive with spring celebrations and getting ready for the summer. Youth and family programs are already in motion. Next weekend is our much anticipated and renowned Memorial Day Parade and 5K. June brings us Pride Month, and our cultural institutions and nonprofits continue to bring us community events. But this evening, though, I would like to focus on our borough staff and their contribution to community, and in particular tonight, one person, John Davis. Last year, the Central Bucks School District cut off public access to War Memorial Field by locking gates when CB West was closed, citing misuse of public bathrooms as a reason. And last fall, the district decided to charge American Legion Baseball a $7,000 fee to use the baseball diamond at War Memorial Field, which threatened the existence of the Veterans Youth Baseball Team. Both decisions upended long-standing traditions and generated community complaints and distress. If it were not for the long campaign John launched to fight the district's policies, the school board might not have revised and improved their decisions. All of council can testify to the phone calls, John's endless meetings, the even more endless emails, calls to the school board, frustration with opposing points of view, outreach to community influencers, scrutiny of legal documents, conversations with lawyers, and handling of district residents who threatened to sue both the borough and the school district. John's long campaign was long and at times thankless, and has definitely taken a toll on his normally outward cheery demeanor.
I didn't realize that.
We also need to thank Rick Herring for his leadership in guiding policy changes and improvements, as well as the school board's support for his recommendations. But most important tonight is to recognize John. Because of your relentless advocacy for the community, American Legion Baseball is saved and can play, along with even more nonprofit youth entities, and residents have access to War Memorial Field. John, you played the game well and won. Thank you from all of us.
Now that we've established a baseline,
Cheery demeanor after 30 years.
And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mayor.
thank you, Madam Mayor. Truer words were never spoken. Mr. Frederick, Public Safety, what do you have for us tonight?
Yes, good evening, Mr. President. We have the authorization and draft ordinance creating no parking restriction on Wood Street. In 2019, Borough Council created a residential parking permit parking zone on the south side of Wood Street between Franklin and Decatur. The zone was created to address parking by employees and patrons of West State Street businesses in the residential area. At the time, parking was restricted to residential permit holders only between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Since that time, employees and patrons of West State Street businesses have also begun parking on Wood Street in large numbers after 5 p.m. and on weekends. As a consequence, Wood Street residents are requesting, and the Public Safety Committee is recommending, that the resident-only parking restrictions be extended to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If council wishes to follow recommendations of the committee, it can do so by motion to authorize drafting and advertising of an ordinance creating a residential permit parking only restriction on the south side of Wood Street between Franklin and Decatur, and I so move.
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Brown. Any questions or comments from any members of council?
Yes, Mr. President, I have a question. I'm not on the Public Safety Committee, and I wasn't at any of the meetings where this was discussed. Was there any discussion of where the displaced parking will go?
I think there's a recognition that, displaced parkers often move on, and we chase them until they dissipate to a certain degree. So there is the possibility that they may decamp to Decatur Street.
That's why I'm asking.
We've done a lot of studies on Decatur Street over the years, and it hasn't met the criteria, but it's something that we're obviously going to take a look at and promise to take a look at. And if it causes a problem on Decatur Street, then we'll address Decatur Street.
Okay. Thank you.
We think the more likely scenario is that these folks will find places to park in the commercial district on State Street and walk, and perhaps one of them, the major issue here is a karate studio that has a very burgeoning business with a lot of new students. So may see some carpooling, we may see some folks have to walk a little further, but if we have to deal with Decatur Street, we've chased people around before.
Okay, let's hope that your hopeful suggestion is what happens. Thank you very much.
Any other questions or comments from any excuse me, any members of council? Hearing none, any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call the vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
The second order of business, Mr. President, is special event permit, Euro 2020/Copa American Watch Party, West Court Street between Harvey and Hamilton. Attached, please find the above referenced special events application as approved by the Central Bucks Regional Police Department, along with a copy of the extension of premises from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board. The applicant is seeking approval for the sale, possession, and consumption of alcohol in conjunction with the event from Borough Council. Public Safety Committee is recommending approval of a special event permit, including alcohol sale, possession, and consumption conditional upon the applicant's compliance with the conditions of the extension of the premises. If council wishes to follow the recommendation of the committee, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
We have a second.
Somebody.
Second.
Who was that, Mr. Brown?
Sister Brown.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from any members of council?
Yes, Mr. President, is it expected or anticipated that members of the Central Bucks Police Department are going to be kind of monitoring the activities there, given that there's going to be, an event in the street from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and certainly consumption of alcoholic beverages and just the usual rowdiness that goes with sporting events? I don't know if the chief can answer that, but Mr. Frederick, do you know if there's at least a contingency to assign extra patrol officers to make sure that things stay within reasonable bounds for a sporting event such as that?
The chief's been involved in all the planning meetings for this and met directly with us and the applicant, so he can speak to the policing issues. Obviously, it's something they'll be keeping an eye on.
Sure.
As any public event.
Right. Anything that's out into the street, especially that has the special exception of the PLCB, warrants our attention, just like pedestrian dining. Pedestrian dining, of course, is not a sporting event per se, but it's still the same with alcohol and dining in the street. This will be no different. We'll keep a close watch on that. We've talked to the owner at length about this. This is the first time he's trying this. He's really kind of under our watchful eye to make sure this goes off without a hitch. A lot of the responsibility we put back on him
Okay.
to monitor this, and he's in full agreement with that.
The extension of premises also puts him under, tremendous risk. I mean, you're risking your liquor license when you have an extension of premises if you don't comply.
Certainly.
We certainly expect LCB officials to be out and about. They do show up for our outdoor dining, and I don't think this will be any different, especially since it's new. So we've talked to him at length, and we think he's taken this seriously. They've got a good plan. It's an area that's not been able to participate in the outdoor dining program because really there's only one business there. So this gives them an opportunity to kind of share in the in that program to some extent. But we're comfortable after having talked to him.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Any other questions or comments from members of council? Hearing none, any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Yes, one last thing. Everyone has the fire company report in their packet. And that is the end of my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Frederick. Mr. Brown, Public Works Administration, what do you have for us?
Public Works did not meet this month, but I just wanted to put in another good word for our Public Works team. It's been a big month between the hanging of the creation and hanging of the flower baskets with Del Val, parade prep, line painting, tree planting, and street dining. They've had a lot on their plates this past month, and are doing a bang-up job as usual. And with that, I'll hand it over to Mr. Ellinger.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. We have been busy this month. There was a spring branch pickup that we performed a great service. That was on May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, to the 4th and the 5th too. But we finally got through the whole list. As I mentioned, flower baskets coming up. We planted 20 of 40 trees that are planned to go in, and its mowing season has started. Tomorrow morning, the Plaza East parking lot is getting milled and paved. So there's a significant, signs have gone up, notifications have gone out. It might be a little disruptive for those local folks. We've done our best to notify them. But this is a pretty major rehabilitation of that parking lot. We did some concrete work in there. So that's happening tomorrow. We are incentivizing the contractor through all means possible to get in and out as quickly as possible. We have it scheduled for 3 days. We hope we can get it done, painted, and opened again in 2. We're also doing some work on Borough Mill Hill Road. That hill has gotten in bad shape, and it's so we're doing that as part of our pothole program, which we've been doing. We did several large dig out patches, and we're preparing for the big parade, which is all consuming all our forces this week. So that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ellinger. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Community and Government Affairs, Mr. Bell isn't here, so somebody can speak for them.
Got it. I don't believe they have any items this evening.
Okay,
Yeah, nothing actionable.
okay, we'll move on then. Zoning and Planning, Ms. Jarrett.
The Zoning and Planning Committee did meet this month, as we do every month. And first on the docket, we had from the Department of Zoning and Planning an application for a land development waiver for Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church. Is it okay with you, Ms. Highland, if I just go ahead and read this memorandum?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So this is SD/LD 2024-2, application for land development waiver for Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church, which is at 235 East State Street. Our Lady of Mount Carmel is proposing to construct a columbarium within the lawn and paved areas behind the rectory, building near East State Street. The proposal includes construction of several structures of the storage of cremated remains. The scope also includes landscaping, hardscaping, and seating areas. The Zoning and Planning Committee reviewed the application on May 13th, 2024, and recommended the approval of the application conditional on the following. 1, that the applicant resolve all outstanding issues in the borough engineers, borough water engineer, and Shade Tree Commission's review letters to the satisfaction of staff. Those letters are attached. That the applicant remove a portion of the existing stone wall to improve visibility of the existing crosswalk. That the applicant plant street trees west of the intersection of East State Street and East Oakland Avenue, and that the existing plantings near the bend in the stone wall be removed. That the project comply with all applicable building and environmental regulations, including local, state, and federal. That the applicant enter into the typical land development waiver agreement in a form satisfactory to the borough solicitor. And I will mention that the safety issues were issues brought up by our committee for crossings, et cetera, and it was resolved that the new construction wouldn't necessarily create problems with that visibility, but the applicant took our concerns to heart and made some changes to help with that as well. So that was very good of them to do. If council is in agreement with the committee's recommendation, it may grant the land development waiver approval by carrying a motion to do so, and I so move.
Second.
We had a motion and a second by Ms. Popkin. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Next up, we during our meeting, we had a representative from the Central Bucks School District come and speak with us about their plans for War Memorial Field parking lot paving and improvements. The Central Bucks School District, as a part of its summer paving project, so you're not the only one, Phil, they're all paving, is planning to repave the parking lot on War Memorial Field property. The scope also includes minor layout changes to improve accessibility, as well as an installation of stormwater inlets, storm sewer, and underdrain. In accordance with the War Memorial Field Agreement between the borough and the district, improvements beyond regular maintenance require written approval and consent of the borough. The Zoning and Planning Committee recommends the borough approve the proposed improvements. If council is in agreement, it may do so by motion, and I so move.
Second. We have a motion and a second by Mr. Lerone. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, we have the Zoning Hearing Board report. Ms. Highland, would you like to go through that for us?
Thank you, Ms. Jarrett. The Zoning Hearing Board had been scheduled to meet last Thursday evening. During the day on Thursday, the applicant withdrew their application, and so the meeting had been canceled, and I've got no report.
Thank you. And finally, we have the Certificate of Appropriateness HARB recommendations from the Historical and Architectural Review Board. The HARB recommended the following. They had no sign applications, but for building applications for 6 through 16 West State Street, an applicant for windows, HARB recommended that the application be approved for a certificate of appropriateness as submitted and presented. The custom 9-pane window-like replacement and trim are to be flat and made of clear anodized aluminum. The exterior frame is to be returned to the window's look. The horizontal and vertical muntins will be 2 inches each, and the side rails will be 3 inches. The signage of the business name and logo will be minimal. Next is 1 through 3 West Court Street, also for windows. The HARB recommended that the application be approved for a certificate of appropriateness as submitted and presented. 192 East State Street, again, windows. The HARB recommended that the application be approved for a certificate of appropriateness as submitted and presented. 111 West Oakland Avenue for exterior renovations. The HARB recommended that the application be approved for a certificate of appropriateness as submitted and presented with smooth hardy plank to match the existing, with K-gutters installed and railings to have a matte finish. 18 South Church Street for an addition. The HARB recommended that the application be approved for a certificate of appropriateness, including the observed changes to the garage overhang being extended and appropriate sizing for the garage dormer. 127 West Ashland Street for doors and windows. The HARB recommended that the application be approved for a certificate of appropriateness as submitted and presented. 355 Maple Avenue for a front porch and walkway. The HARB recommended that the application be approved for a certificate of appropriateness as submitted and presented. The railings will be gray wrought iron fabricated and welded, similar to 41 North Church Street. The slate steps, flagstone walk, and lamp post will be similar to 347 Maple Avenue, and the stone veneer on the face of the porch will be similar to 60 South Church Street. Last, we have 132 West Oakland Avenue for windows. The HARB recommended that the application be approved for a certificate of appropriateness as submitted and presented with Pella Reserve 2/2 windows in white. The Zoning and Planning Committee recommends that council approve the applications in accordance with the HARB's recommendation. If the council wishes to follow the committee's recommendation, it may do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I think it was Mr. Kinney? Yes. Thank you. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Additionally, we have the code and building inspection reports attached in the packet, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Environment and Rec, Ms. Wyckoff. Do you have anything for
We
us?
did meet this month, but I have nothing to report.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Lavrone, Water Utility, do you have anything for us?
Yes, the Water Utility Committee did not meet in May, but I just wanted to share two system maintenance items, and staff can jump in with any corrections or clarifications as needed. First one is that our chief water operator, Jerry Matoso, has informed me that the Maplewood water tank rehabilitation project is going well. And the second thing is the pump that failed at well number 7 on East State Street on Saturday, May 11th, was replaced on the following Monday with no disruption to the water service. So thanks to Jeremy and all who were involved with keeping the water system up and running in a somewhat of an emergency. And that's the end of my report.
Just want to echo the thanks to Jeremy. He did an incredible job pulling that together over a weekend. It was stressful to say the least. And there were some difficult moments when we seemed poised to go one way or the other. But he left no stone unturned and addressed everything. And it was a heck of a weekend for him, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But he had everything under control. It was great to know that there was somebody there that you absolutely could count on. And he just did an amazing job bringing that well back online quickly and had every contingency addressed. So, we owe him a lot.
Very good, thank you. Yep. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Lavrone. Finance and Pension, Ms. Popkin.
Yes, Mr. President. Finance and Pension did not meet this month, but included in your packet is the finance report for the bills that are to be paid for this month, and they total $976,909.98. And I make a motion to approve this.
Second.
We have a motion and I think a second by Ms. Jarrett. Any questions or comments from any members of the council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the end of my report.
Thank you. Personnel Committee did not meet this month. I have nothing to report. Professionals report. Mr. Doherty, you have anything for us tonight?
Thank you. I have nothing tonight.
Solicitors report. Bucky, you have anything?
Thank you, no report this evening.
Chief, do you have anything for us?
No report tonight, thank you.
Thank you. I do not have a presence report. Any items of old business? Hearing none. Any items of new business?
Mr. President. I just wanted to do two things. First off, we're going to have our second preparedness seminar on May 30th at 6:30 right here. We're also going to participate in the Great Shakeout in October, which is a nationwide earthquake drill based on our experience in May, or was that April? It was April. And I also would like to give a shout out to Ms. Wyckoff for the wonderful ice cream ride and bike safety seminar that she put together on, was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
It seemed longer than it was yesterday.
It was about,
Thank you.
about 20 kids and parents, and then parents, and very nice ride to Evolution Candy and back, and it was very, very
All got
well
matched
done.
up at the end.
Did anybody sign up?
Thank you.
I don't believe so. Did anybody sign up for public comment?
No.
Okay, open public comment. My information tells me nobody signed up for that, so, and we are not having an executive session tonight. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I think this gentleman had something.
John was asking me why I came here if I got locked out again. I'm coming here to echo the mayor's comments for John. I've worked with him for a number of years now, and it always seems that I come to him when there's a problem. I heard today that there was no problem. I come to thank you for everything you've done for us over the years. And now you can say that I only come to you when there's a problem. So thank you all for everything that you did here. It was great. It really worked out great for everybody and the community. And we really appreciate everything. John, thank you much, buddy.
And thank you for what you did and what you do.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks, your last meeting.
Okay.
Make a motion?
Did. We already voted on it.
You already voted on it, Joe.
Public comment?
Hi, I'm Nick Tartaglia, lieutenant from the all-volunteer Doylestown Fire Company, speaking on behalf of our members. We're looking for new people to join our team. Could that be you? You've just seen why our members are our #1 asset, and together we make a powerful team. We're your friends and neighbors, but when you call 911, we're the ones who drop everything to answer the call. Just like you, our diverse volunteers work normal jobs, attend schools, and care for their families. But together, we share our talents and skills for a common mission. In fact, maybe you know some of us.
My name is Lori Westover. I'm a cell biologist for a large drug discovery company, and I serve to help my neighbors in their time of need.
My name's Grant Castor. I'm head of commercial operations for a specialty pharmaceutical company, and I serve to give back to my hometown.
My name is Rachel Laux. I'm studying to become a veterinarian, and I volunteer to continue my family tradition as a third-generation firefighter.
I'm Steve Downs, and I'm a teacher and a professor at LaSalle University. And I became a firefighter to live my faith.
We are the Doylestown Fire Company. Aside from our different individual lives, we are all professionally trained firefighters and members of this close-knit firefighting family. We need more people to join our team. We'll ensure you have the necessary skills, knowledge, and equipment to succeed. Join us and share our enthusiasm in providing this vital service to the community. To explore whether firefighting might be a good fit for you, please contact us or visit your local firehouse for more information. Your friends, your family, and your neighbors count on us. Can we count on you?